Good morning and welcome to the regular meeting of the Board of Water and Power Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. This proceeding is being broadcasted on Channel 35. The exact broadcast times can be found by contacting Channel 35. Board of Water and Power Commissioners, please stay present for roll call. President Marks. Forgive me, President Marks, would you repeat that for the record? I didn't have the mic hot.
Yes, I'm present.
Vice President KATZ?
Present.
Commissioner Ortega?
Present.
Commissioner PINDER?
Present.
Commissioner TRAN?
Present.
5 board members are present. Mr. President?
Thank you. I think the first thing to do is to call out Commissioner Ortega because we have a new member, the newest member, and finally full 5 seats up here on the commission. So I'd like to say to you officially, Rudy Ortega, Jr., welcome and congratulations on becoming Commissioner of the Board of Water and Power Commissioners. So join me, please, in an applause for him. In fact, before I say more about the world, I want to give you a chance to say a few remarks if you'd like.
Sure. No, thank you very much. It's an honor to serve the Board of the Department of Water and Power. It's a privilege, and as a tribal leader from Los Angeles, specifically from Mission San Fernando, we have a long history with the department, and it dates back from the founding probably of the department itself that dealt with water rights and water itself. So we know the importance of water, and it's an honor for me to serve the Native communities as a member of this board, and also too to bring the insight of the residents of Los Angeles who we serve as our power and water to. So it's a really great honor to be part of the department here, be part of the board, and join so many folks who gracefully onboarded me on. Really wonderful people all around. Just got to say that from the start, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, good. Thank you. And we also welcome your experience from other commissions. I know you're on the LA City County Native American Indian Commission and on the Santa Monica Mountains Conservancy Board, and have done a lot for public service for the community. So thank you for giving back.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
For those of you who have not had the pleasure of attending, by the way, the tribal ceremony that is hosted at the DWP's Nature Preserve up in Chatsworth, which is where you and I first met when we in the winter solstice. The next event is open to the public. It is on March 28th at the Chatsworth Reservoir Nature Preserve, jointly hosted by the department and by the Fernandino Tatavian Band of Mission Indians, and we look forward to having you there if you can do that. That's for the spring equinox.
Thank you.
Good. And I'll point out, in the world right now, there's troubles, but there's a lot to bring together our very diverse community in Los Angeles, and mindful of constitutional limits, not establishing anything, but in a sense of inclusivity. I just wanted to note that last week, many people around the world celebrated Lunar New Year. And for the first time in about 30 years, given how calendars work, Ramadan and Lent overlap, and both started last week. I'll point out that a week from now, the Jewish holiday of Purim will be celebrated, and the Hindu holiday of Holi will also start next Tuesday night and be continuing with the Festival of Colors on Wednesday. There is a lot to be thankful for in the broader world, and the planets and the moons and the way they circle around us and how we note those facts seasonally and weekly. So I think it's, before we go into the meeting, just wanted to mention that we're all here together as part of something bigger than ourselves, and it's a pleasure to be with you doing this work for the community. The other thing I'd like to mention before we start is a congratulations, a shout out to North Hollywood High School and their students who have won the Science Bowl that was hosted here at the Department of Water and Power this past weekend. Terrific accomplishment for them. They have a long legacy of success, notwithstanding the fact that Vice President KATZ is an alum of North Hollywood High. So anything you want to comment on the science program?
Sure, yeah. You can see by my mask here, I was sick this weekend and couldn't be there in person. But I was there last year, and it's just such an amazing event and opportunity to see our young people from across LAUSD, really dedicating themselves to learning science and competing. So definitely made me very proud as a Husky, but congratulations to all the teams who participated, and I'm sorry that I couldn't be there to congratulate you in person. I'd also like to just take a moment to second President Marks's remarks welcoming Commissioner Ortega. We are really so fortunate. Can you guys hear okay with the mask? Yes. Okay. We're really so fortunate to have a leader of your caliber, to have a tribal president actually join us here on the dais. All of the expertise that you bring from your other service and leadership positions. And I'm really looking forward, especially in working together on tribal engagement and learning from you as we engage both tribes in the Owens Valley and also across Los Angeles and anywhere else that DWP is working. So just really thank you for your leadership and for stepping up to serve, and we're really excited to welcome you.
Definitely.
Thanks.
And at this point, do any other commissioners have any comments they'd like to make?
Yes, I'm aware of all of the new commissioners' great background and all the potential he brings. But on a very practical matter, now that you're here, some of the vacation plans I have, I don't have to worry about, because you will be here, I will be gone, and we will still have quorum. So I just want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for you finally joining us. We've been waiting for you and waiting for you.
You especially.
On that vacation.
I'm just saying. So glad to welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Pender. Commissioner Trent.
Yes, I don't have any vacation plans yet, but Commissioner Ortega, welcome to the board. Glad to have you. And as well, we just started also a couple months ago, but it's exciting work, great work, and looking forward to working with you and the rest of the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Likewise. Any other comments from commissioners? Fine. And this next bit, I'd like to approve the minutes before we then get to public comment. The minutes for the previous meeting, which was February 10, 2026, have been distributed to the commissioners. Are there any corrections to the minutes?
None from me, thank you.
None.
Fine. There being no corrections, I entertain a motion to approve item D1, the minutes from the last meeting.
Motion to approve D1?
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Marks,
Aye.
Vice President KATZ,
Oh, aye.
Commissioner Ortega,
Aye.
Commissioner Pinder,
Aye.
Commissioner Tran.
All right.
5 ayes, motion adopted.
Thank you. And now we can move to public comment.
Public comment is open at this time. During general public comment, members of the public may speak to any of the items and anything else within LADWP subject matter jurisdiction. You'll have 2 minutes per item, but no more than 5 minutes total. If you are speaking on a specific item, you must stay on topic. Otherwise, your time will be forfeited. You will be verbally notified when your time allotment has expired. We have one speaker. The first speaker is former DWP Vice President Cynthia Ruiz.
Wonderful. Welcome.
Good morning. Board President Marks, commissioners, as was indicated, my name is Cynthia Ruiz, and as was noted, I previously served as Vice President of the Commission, so I understand the amount of responsibility that you have and the complexity of the department. So commissioners, thank you for your service. I also want to take a moment and give a shout out to all the hardworking men and women of LADWP that work hard on a daily basis. So I come to you this morning with a happy heart. I'm here to help welcome Commissioner Rudy Ortega. Rudy Ortega and I have known each other for many years, and when I think of Commissioner Ortega, I think of a man of integrity, a man of intelligence, and a true servant leader. As Board President Marks noted, he served as a commissioner for many years, and our parents, his father, my mother, served together on the Native American Indian Commission for many years. So Commissioner Ortega, I am so proud of you. I know our parents who are in the non-physical world are so proud of you. I want you to know as you go into this role, you're not alone. The community's behind you, Los Angeles behind you, I'm behind you, and I wish you nothing but the best in your new role. I am so proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, former Vice President Reese. We had the honor of serving together when I began on the commission, and it's good to see you in person. And thank you for taking the time to come and speak and honor this important moment.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Thank you very much. And now we can move on to the reports from the CEO, Janice Quinones.
Good morning. Let me see. Is it on? Yes. Good morning and welcome, Commissioner Ortega. We're very happy to have you. The tribes are such important partners in what we do every day, so having a representative on the board is really important for us. So looking forward to your contributions and how you're going to guide us to be better partners. Outside of that, I'm going to pass it to Anselmo to give us a couple updates on the water systems. I think a lot of them are really cool, especially the one in Granada Hills and Porter Ranch.
Good morning, Commissioners, and Selma Collins. A couple of things I wanted to report on. I wanted to start out first with, obviously last week we had a storm that came in. As I did at the previous board meeting, I provided an update on our water supply situation as a result of precipitation. I'm happy to report that as a result of the storm that we had last week, we have been able to capture now in Los Angeles almost 80,000 acre-feet of stormwater that we're going to use to recharge the groundwater basin. So that's always very good news. That's around 26 billion gallons of stormwater. So we work really closely with the county flood control folks to hold that water during the rain event and then release it, send it to the spreading basins, and be able to recharge the groundwater basin. So we're doing really well there. On the Eastern Sierra, we were able to get, as a result of the last storm, 7 inches of what we call snow water equivalent. So when you have a snowpack, there's a certain amount of water within that snowpack, depending on how wet it is. And we got around 7 inches, which means that now we are at 98 to 99% of normal as of April 1st. So if we got no more precipitation in the Eastern Sierra, we will be at 99% of normal, which is really good. So it's turning out to be basically a normal water year for us, which is always a good thing. I think that's 3 years in a row now. So we'll take it. It obviously takes the pressure off water supply. So we're doing really well there.
When is the next time that you do the snowpack check?
That one is coming up March 1st. We're going to do the next round of snow surveys. So as a matter of fact, I believe we are supposed to be going up to myself and the CEO to put us to work. Yes. And they're going to make us do the snow survey. All I will say, I've done it once before, it is very hard work. So, but yes, we'll do it March 1st. And the main purpose is to basically validate what our snow pillows tell us. So we have facilities that tell us approximate how much snow we have and how much water content. What we do when we go out is we validate that to make sure that we have the right information. And then we're able to calculate the potential runoff based on that. And the runoff usually starts April 1st throughout and the rest of the year. So doing really well there when it comes to water supply. So I wanted to pass along that information. I think I mentioned at the last meeting too, the state also allocated 30% allocation to the Metropolitan Water District. MWD has the rights to purchase around 2 million acre feet. So we're looking at 600,000 acre feet of water that Metropolitan Water District will be able to purchase from the state of California to supply to its member agencies, us being one of them. So that's the first update I want to provide. The next thing is Salinas Reservoir floating cover. So as has been reported before, one of the plans that we have is to replace the floating cover that currently is on Salinas Reservoir. We fixed the cover after the fires, but we recognize that cover is jeopardized because of the fires and embers that fell. So we have been working really closely with the community, with CD11, to basically work on a replacement cover. We installed a temporary pipe above ground that's connecting our valley system from the Corbin tank. It's going to Topanga Park all the way to Temesco tank. That's going to provide a certain amount of water if there is an issue while the reservoir is off. So we have drank down the reservoir a certain amount. The rest of the water in the reservoir now is going to be drained. That process has begun. We expect to be completed with the draining by late March. Once that happens, the contractor Layfields is going to mobilize. They're going to remove the cover, and they're going to begin the process of building the new cover that is going to be providing better protection for that water. This is, once again, and I have to repeat this because folks sometimes think this is how we're doing, it's an interim step. This is to give us the certainty that we have a good cover on Salinas Reservoir. The long-term plans are being developed. My planning staff is working on that, and it can be a combination of things. Perhaps put a hard cover in Salinas, or we build tanks elsewhere, or on the Salinas property, or we look at perhaps treatment. All those alternatives are being looked at right now by staff, and there's going to be a recommendation brought to me, and then I will recommend that to the CEO for us to be able to move forward with a long-term permanent solution. So this is basically the short-term solution right now, but we're making good progress on that.
And Anselmo, the reservoir will be back online by?
We're expecting to have the reservoir back online by the end of the year. So that certainly should be good news. The next item, as some of you may recall, in August of 2025, we had a major outage situation in the Porter Ranch, Conetta Hills area. It was as a result of a 48-inch valve that failed in its closed position that wouldn't allow us to pump water to the trunk line and eventually make it to the Susana tank, which is in the West San Fernando Valley. As a result of that, during that emergency, we had to dig over 20 feet deep. We took out the valve that was stuck, and we replaced it with a spool, just a straight piece of pipe. And what we did over this weekend is we went back and we installed brand new valves. And we have a couple of pictures I wanted to show you because just for you to see the extent of it. What you're looking at here is two 48-inch butterfly valves that are being installed to allow us to be able to isolate that pipeline. To ensure that we could do this as quickly as possible, everything was assembled before it went into the hole. So you're looking here at two butterfly valves. You got two bypass valves there, as well as a blow-off, or what we call a bleed. And you can see here that it's being lowered into the trench. And if we can go to the next picture, there you can see now the pipe being put in. And then what we do is we weld what we call butt straps on each end, and that's how we connect the new piece of pipe to the existing piece of pipe that we have there. So quite a bit of work. The one thing that's also very evident, we're not 20 feet deep. That was one of the things that we wanted to make sure that we could change, is to put it in a location that was more accessible. This is more normal installation than being 20 feet deep, as the old valve was that was installed back in the 60s. This took a lot of coordination and a lot of effort between the Water Distribution Division and the Water Operations Division. This was done Friday night to Saturday morning. So one of the things that we did here, and this was a lesson from when we had the outage, is that we had two temporary pump stations that were pumping water to the Susana tank. So we kept it full all throughout the night. So our staff was working. If we had encountered a problem, we would have had a full tank, 10 million gallons of water and stored that we could use in case of anything. Luckily, with all the good planning and all the good work, we had no issues. So we were able to get this work done while most people were sleeping. So the following morning, Saturday, when they woke up, we had this pipe back in service. So I wanted to make sure I mentioned this because this just shows the good work that our distribution folks do, the trunk line construction folks, and they were able to put in this work in a matter of 14 or 15 hours or so. But it's a group effort between operations and distribution.
And those are all our own people doing that?
These are our own people, correct. We are probably the only municipal utility that has its own trunk line crews, as well as over 30 mainline crews that install 240,000 linear feet of pipe on a yearly basis. So they do excellent work. And then the last thing I wanted to mention is that this Thursday, February 26th, we're going to be hosting, we being the water system, specifically Water Distribution Division, the annual tap-off. This is the 14th annual tap-off. It's going to take place between 8 o'clock in the morning and 3 p.m., and this is going to take place at Sylmar West, which is our training facility. It is just north of the filtration plant. It's a great event where you will see LADWP staff compete with other utilities on a variety of skill sets that they have, from tapping main and doing it in the shortest time possible, to what we call meter madness and meter hysteria, where they basically take apart meters and put them back together very quickly. It's a great event because we also have vendors there. We talk about safety. We talk about equipment that's coming out. Local 18 participates as well. So it's a great event. And once again, it'll be this Thursday from 8 to 3 p.m. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
It's a great event. And now I'm going to pass it to Mr. Robert Gonzalez, who was recently promoted to Assistant General Manager. Can you talk about your title now and what you're responsible for, and then give us the power updates?
Yeah, sure. Robert Gonzalez. I've been with the department about 36 and a half years. Wow. And yeah, it's been a while. So I'm an Assistant General Manager over the generation delivery. So it's exciting. I'm very familiar with it. I started a long career here, a long time ago here in construction, and worked my way through a generation. And actually, I've been all over the department except for the water side. And some wouldn't have me, I guess. But anyway, that's a little history on me. As far as my update, I wanted to give an update on the storm. So just going to cover some numbers quickly. We had a series of storms hit, as you all know, February 16th through February 19th. Our peak customer outage was 21,973. Total customers restored since the beginning of the storm was 58,738. So as far as preparing for the storm, we had 24-hour coverage, scheduling district, trouble crews, and other crews. We had quite a few people on. We had an average daily crews of 54 crews a day. The restoration was prioritized the outages, impacting the highest number of outages first, and then the longest out. And our crews just did an amazing job. I mean, and our preparation was so well set up. It was great to see it. It was really a good event for us as far as storm events. Mm-hmm. So with that, I have any questions? Yes.
This is just basics. When we say a crew, approximately how many is that unit?
The crew is usually 5 to 8 people, including the supervisor. Yeah.
5 to 8 times 54.
Yeah, and that's for the patrol and line mechanic crew, or actually line mechanic crews. We have other crews out there too that could be 2 or 4 people. That 54 number doesn't count all the auxiliary crews that we have out at the same time. They call support out, and those other crews will come out. The 54 is the line crews that are coming out.
All right.
And trouble crews.
Thank you.
Sure.
And I just want to highlight Mike Trewick. Mike, can you stand up? I can't see you. Yeah, he's our T&D director and runs our T&D operations, and it's been a pleasure having you. And just want to say thank you to the crews, because when there's a storm out there, when it's raining and thundering and trying to make things safe and bring power back, so it's not an easy job, and they're the unsung heroes of our organization. Same with the water crews working at night. So I want to thank you also to the trouble desk, because they're taking all the calls, and dispatching crews, and they always are not mentioned, so I want to make sure that they get mentioned, and obviously the ECC, who keeps our system operating and well balanced. So.
Thank you. And thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Then I'm just going to bring Daniel Lucero forward. I was going to say the report, but I think it's good that you do it, because this was your show, and you did a really well job. With the incident in McCulloch Switching Station, it made the news this week on the car that hit our station.
Yes.
And so Daniel Lucero is our Executive Director of Security. And so, Daniel.
Thank you, ma'am. Commissioners, community members, great to be before you today. I wish it were under better circumstances, but I think this incident highlights the evolved threat environment that we operate in. We know there are deliberate bad actors out there who seek to do our department harm, and our role here is to protect our employees, our operations, our critical infrastructure, and most importantly, the public. We do this so that the public has safe and secure access to utilities and resources. I'll say this was categorized by the FBI as a deliberate act of terrorism, so this was an intentional event. I'm not going to say too much more about it because it's still an ongoing law enforcement operation, but I want to make sure that I express my sincere thanks to our federal, state, and local law enforcement partners. Obviously, this was out of Los Angeles, so this was across state lines, and it involved a huge amount of coordination. I was incredibly impressed by how internal and external stakeholders came together in a time of emergency to be able to communicate, pass the relevant information to the decision makers, and make sure that we were able to, protect those resources, as I mentioned. I'll tell you, I've been at the department only about 7 months now, so I'm still relatively new and drinking from the fire hose, learning all I can. But I'm so impressed by Janice's leadership. Prior to me coming on board, she's already set us up for success to make sure that we evolve in terms of some of the programs, policies, and security measures that we're putting in place. Obviously, all eyes are going to be on our city as we move towards the World Cup and then onto the Olympics. We are in the middle of upgrading a lot of our different programs. I'm not going to speak about any one of them specifically, but I'll tell you, before the Olympics come, we will be a drastically different and improved organization in terms of our security posture. And I also want to make sure that I give thanks to our proprietary employees. Although they were not involved in this incident, we have a very robust security team who works 24/7 round the clock protecting hundreds of our facilities, and they're really the frontline ones who at 0 dark 30 make sure that the bad actors out there don't have access to our facilities. So at this time, I'll open up to any questions, and apologies if I'm a bit coy, but since it is a ongoing investigation, we can't reveal too much of the sensitive information.
Yeah, thank you. And the first thing I'd like to say is also thank you to you, your entire security team, Janice, to you and your entire management team for keeping the commission, especially me and Vice President KATZ, directly informed, kind of, I won't say in real time, but close enough
Yes, sir.
Because of that event. And I realize, we have operations across 5 states, and we can have issues like we have had in the past week, downstairs in front of our building with people, who live nearby that maybe are not doing so well at the moment. And we have issues like this that are, significant, not just for us, but also for national security. So I appreciate all that you're doing, and you have our back. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Daniel. I just add that there was no disruption to our services, and there was no safety incidents to any of our coworkers, so that was good news. Like Daniel said, it was a great lesson learned for us. I also want to thank our communications division for mobilizing and submitting a bulletin for our workforce to keep them informed. And the security team quickly elevated our security posture, so we make sure that our security in all our facilities was at an elevated position, and that was shared with our coworkers. And so I want to thank the coworkers as well for keeping an eye. If you see something, say something, because you never know what bad actors are trying to do. And we do manage one of the most critical infrastructure systems in LA. So it is important that all of our coworkers are part of the eyes and ears that we need to protect our infrastructure. So thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
I also want to remind people that we are in the second delivery of Workday financials, and I have Ann here too. Today is the Readiness Fair. It's happening in the lobby, A or lobby?
At A level at the atrium?
At the atrium. And so we're 90 days, working days from go live. As you remember, we did Workday for HR last year, and now I can't believe it's already here. The finances are coming in, and I'm extremely proud of what the team has accomplished. So I encourage all the coworkers to go by the atrium and participate on the Readiness Fair, especially if you're impacted. And I'll pass it up to you if you want to add anything about Workday.
Yeah, thank you, Janice, and good morning, Commissioners. Ann Santilli, Department Chief Financial Officer. So as Janice said, in June, we went live with Human Resources and Payroll. So in July 1st, we're going to go live with all of our back office systems, General Ledger, Cost Accounting, miscellaneous receivables, all of the back office tools are going to be converted to Workday. The fair is going on downstairs right now. We have great participation. Right now, we're doing our dress rehearsal, so employees are welcome to get into the practice tent, go in. If you're a travel proxy, go in there, practice so that you know what you're going to do July 1st. It's been a great journey. We've been talking about doing this for decades, and it's finally coming true July 1st, and I welcome any questions from the Commission.
Thank you. Any questions?
Not at this time.
Commissioner?
I just want to say congratulations. these kind of transitions are never easy. I've been through a workday transition myself at a much smaller scale, and it was painful, but I think the net result of it is a lot of easement and transparency, and also a great platform to make the organization work better. So it's a massive undertaking, and I think that once you get there, it'll be fantastic, but congratulations, and hopefully we'll get there with everyone on board, and everyone will see that it's going to be great for the organization. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And just a couple more updates. Just want to piggyback on the lunar year. It's the year of the horse,
Yes.
which I'm very fascinated by the year of the horse because it's about action, change, creativity, and leadership. And so I just want to tie it back to the department and the leadership that we've had this year. You've heard about all those changes that are happening and this is our year. So I'm very, very proud of this, and I'm going to take advantage of the Lunar New Year to continue the progress to serve our communities. And lastly, on March 7th, we have our reservoir walk, and Salma, why don't you talk about that?
All right. So yes, we have done this actually a couple of times already. We do a reservoir walk. In addition, this year, we're also celebrating the 101st year of the Mulholland Dam. So what people may not realize is that the Mulholland Dam is basically the same design as the St. Francis Dam. St. Francis Dam is a dam that failed many years ago and pretty much ended the career for William Mulholland. Years later, obviously, with more knowledge of geotechnical engineering, they realized that it had to do with the abutments, not the dam itself, the type of soil that we had there. But the dam that's at the Hollywood Reservoir has been there for over 100 years, serving the community. And on March 7th, we'll have an opportunity to go for a nice little stroll. I think it's a little over 3 miles. So we want to invite everybody to attend. It'll be a great opportunity to also celebrate Women's History Month. I know Janice is going to be there with her sneakers and walking the 3.5 miles. And
I run him.
You're going to run him? Wow. Okay.
Nice.
That's a commitment. But yes, the event should be a fun-filled day. We're going to be able to take a look at some of the nice areas that we have in the Mulholland area there in Mulholland Dam. It's a very popular area for the community to walk on a daily basis. Mm-hmm. As you know, the Hollywood Reservoir, both the north and the upper and lower Hollywood reservoirs, are not any longer part of the drinking water system, but they're maintained there for fire protection, especially using the helicopters, and they have been used in the past. But the property now is used more for recreation by the community, passive recreation, mainly walking around. So it's a great opportunity. Once again, that is going to be on March 7th. And I believe that not only Janice is going to be there, but also our board president, Marks, is going to be there. And I'd like to invite
They'll run together.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, my running might be different than your running.
Yours is faster. As both of you are running around, I'll be walking right behind you, cheering you on. But I want to invite everybody to attend the event. It should be a great day to go for a nice stroll.
And hopefully the deer will not be scared away by our big crowd.
Yeah, they should be there. I sadly will be out of town for a family obligation and missing the walk, but I do want to encourage people to go there. And as you walk around the reservoir, take a moment. Our DWP employees have built a beautiful pollinator garden along the walk as well. That is a demonstration garden of what you can do in your own homes and replace your turf with native plants through our amazing turf rebate. And we also have the LEAP program for, if you're financially challenged, you can actually get a full replacement and garden fully funded by DWP. And especially, take a moment in that garden. The garden was actually dedicated to a really special environmental leader who worked with DWP, Cindy Montañez. So there's a beautiful plaque there for her as well. So it's a very special place. Beautiful, beautiful site, and really part of our connectivity and habitat throughout the Santa Monica Mountains. So hope that everyone enjoys a beautiful morning there. Thank you.
I don't think I mentioned the time. The event starts at 7:30.
7:30 in the morning.
7:30 on Saturday morning.
Bright and early.
Yes, boss. 7:30 in the morning. So it goes till 10 o'clock. So we'll see you running there at 7:45. Thank you.
Yeah. I was so happy until now. Yeah. Lastly, but the most important announcement is I want to recognize Estela Tiemens. Estela's retiring at the end of the month after 33 years of service in the department, and she is a civil engineer from UCLA. She's a Bruins, and joined DWP and the PDC Power Design and Construction Division, and then she worked for WETS Division, and then moved into optimization, customer service, and been in the customer service organizations, I think since 2008, but you can correct me if I'm wrong, 2004. She, the last job that she's had is being the interim director of customer service, and she has held that job. It's a tough job, a lot of work, and she has done an amazing job. So I just want to say thank you for your service. I wish you the best. This is the best part about working, is when you get to retire and enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones. And whatever you're going to do next, I hope that you're happy, healthy, and full of joy. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
And so I want to see if anybody else want to say something about Estela. This is not a roast, though.
No, I know. I'm going to behave. But I do need to say something, because I actually have known Estela for pretty much 3 decades. So from the get-go, as soon as she came to water, we've been friends ever since, personal friends. I know her husband, Billy, and her girls. And I want to tell her that we are so happy for you. She's always going to be a water system person, despite the fact that she spends most of her time in customer services. But she is a water engineer. She's part of the water family. And I couldn't be happier for her. I know her retirement event is coming up, and I'm going to miss it, unfortunately, because I'm going to be on the road. But I wanted to just wish her nothing but the best in retirement. All my friends seem to be retiring slowly, so they must be sending me a message. I don't know. But like I said, Estela's been great when she was in the water system, and I could see that evolution and that evolvement of her when she moved to customer services. She's probably the biggest advocate for customers. Everything that happens in customer services, she's always talking about, what about the customer? How is he or she going to, see this? And I think that is a very important role to play. And by the way, she's a civil.
I don't want to hear Anselmo.
But Estela, congratulations, and wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stella, would you like to share anything with us? Because
I did want to say, yes, my core is with water. And every time I'm in a meeting, I'm like, what about water? We serve water as long as power. No dig against power. But they both have an electric and a water meter. And it has been a privilege. Yes, I started as a student engineer. Yes, I kept knocking on the door to get in. I was calling the recruiter every week. He told me to stop calling because I wanted to get in here. This has been a great career. I do want to stress that it's the people. It is the people that makes this place great.
Yeah.
And we're all different. And I stress that with my team. We all have different backgrounds, and that's what makes us stronger. So I am going to miss, I'm not a crier. I am going to miss this place because there's lots to do. But we're in an exciting time right now. Things are moving, and it's great to see the future. So I'm going to be watching. Watching from home, because I'm going to be spending time with my family, and I'm very excited to spend time with my girls and my husband. So
good.
I thank you.
Thank you for your very, very long service. And I hope your retirement is even more fun.
It will be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you. This was a surprise. I thought I was just sitting here and going to be quiet.
Not at all.
Thank you.
That's not how we operate.
Hey, I just add, it dawned on me when they were talking about big shoes to fill. In a way, that's very good that DWP does leave big shoes to fill. Because when the person comes, when they step in, they already know that they can grow fast, that they must grow fast of what's expected to them. And if each person made the shoe and the job bigger each time they left, just think where we would be. Because we certainly don't want to start over. We can't start over. So thank you for everything you are leaving with us. We will use that. We will grow from that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I might add this you mentioned the people, which is internal, but also your focus on customer service, which is, the public we're serving. It's what changes the job to a career. It's not just the passage of time.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Well said.
All right.
Any other
That's it.
comments? Okay, good, thank you.
Congratulations.
So, Tim O'Connor, the ratepayer advocate.
Great. We're gonna flip the positivity right now. No, I'm just joking. But let me just start by saying, Commissioner Ortega, it was wonderful to get a chance to sit down with you last week. Welcome to the commission. I myself have only been here about 8 months in my role, and it's really been a remarkable learning experience as well as an opportunity to connect with the commissioners and with the staff here. Folks like Estella and her team, who we interact with regularly, Anselmo, and the whole team here at the department has been so welcoming and open. And for a ratepayer advocate, it helps me do my job effectively. And I hope that you receive the same treatment. I look forward to working with you going forward. I'm sure it's going to be a very positive experience. The items I do want to speak about today, of which there are 3, are related to, first, filed item number 3 regarding the Financial Services Organization monthly activities report. The reason I'm speaking about this is because this, at its core, is about how the utility, collects money and uses that to support the delivery of safe, reliable, and affordable electric and water service. And this provides me an opportunity to talk about an upcoming report that my office will be putting out this Thursday, which benchmarks LADWP rates and ratepayer bills against those of other utilities here in California, namely the IOUs as well as the peer municipal utilities. We will be releasing that report with an eye towards affordability and the context within which DWP sits in a go-forward sort of case where we are continuing to hear about the affordability of everything in society and how DWP rates and in particular people's bills sit within that context. So looking forward to releasing that material to the public later this week.
Is that comparing just to other power utilities?
We're focusing on electric first. We will later be pursuing a water utility bill focus. But yes, we're focusing on power at this moment. Yes.
Thank you.
The second item I'd like to call forward is related to item for approval number 2, which we understand has been continued to the next board meeting.
It will be, yes.
We look forward to working with the customer service team to understand how the customer experience and interaction with customers will be affected by debt collection services. This is a tremendously important endeavor for the utility, which fits within a larger strategy associated with reducing accounts receivables and ensuring that the department has the revenue it needs to provide the critical service that it does provide, and look forward to working with the team to learn more about that one. Finally, on item number 3, we've been working in dialogue with the water team as recent as even just right before the meeting today. They provided contextual information as well as information. I want to just provide a little bit of information on this one because this Headworks Restoration Phase 4 agreement is really a design contract that is nested within a much, much larger project, a more than $400 million, many-year project that is about critical infrastructure and meeting the department's needs to provide clean, fresh, safe drinking water for the people of the region. The design that's presented to the board and that has been selected, I think really speaks to the ability of the department to kind of bring forward the connectivity between critical infrastructure and ecological and community resilience and connectivity. And when you think about the ability for a project that is an above ground clean drinking water project located here in the heart of the city, and being able to overlay recreation activities and ecological preservation and really kind of bringing people together. It really represents the best of what the department has to offer. We'd love to see this more than $400 million project come to a close, and so we're excited to see that as part of it. But just want to highlight the good work of the team on this item, and just note that OPA doesn't always sort of weigh into projects of this nature, of a size of this nature. However, because of its connectivity to a much larger and very significant effort of the department, we just wanted to call attention to this and really layer in our support for this item. So thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Any questions for the ratepayer advocate from any commissioners?
Not at this time.
Next, we're going to go to the consideration of the items that are on the agenda for approval. As was just suggested, one of the items, item N2, will be deferred to a future meeting. So, Madam Secretary, if you can note that. Are there any items that any commissioner wishes to pull out for special consideration?
No.
Okay, in that case, Madam Secretary, please list the remaining items that are for approval and consideration.
Item N1 and item N3.
And is there any motion to approve items N1 and N3?
Motion to approve items N1 and N3.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
President Marks,
Aye.
Vice President KATZ,
Aye.
Commissioner Ortega,
Aye.
Commissioner Pinder,
Aye.
Commissioner TRAN.
Aye.
5 ayes, motion adopted.
Thank you very much. And now we move to management reports, in particular a presentation regarding the National Society of Black Engineers. Morning.
Morning.
Morning, Commissioners, Executive Managers. My name is Ramsey Ismail. I'm the President for the National Society of Black Engineers chapter here at LADWP. We go by NSBE, NSBE for short. Presenting alongside with me is Michael Simpson, our President-elect, and today we are very pleased to announce our 6th year annual report for the fiscal year 2025 and 2026. And so today we'll be presenting our NSBE core goals, our some membership demographics. We have some engineering hiring data from the department. We'll be going over some of our programming events and our professional development events. So moving on, this is our executive board who are actually with us in the audience today. So when I call your name, would you please stand? So first we have Salsabil Abdusalam, our secretary. Kimberly Smith, our programs chair. Laverne Brazil, our treasurer. Mahdi Jarat, our parliamentarian. Siobhan Page, our delegate. Anthony Karango, our other delegate. And Katina Thomas, our president emeritus. So first, I'd like to say how grateful I am for these group of individuals. They support me on a day-to-day basis, myself and Michael. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your support. You make our job a lot easier. And it's really important that the department also benefits from their leadership because the department stands for excellence and they definitely embody that. So thank you. Also with us, we have our membership. Would you all please stand as well? That's amazing. Thank you so much. So thank you for your membership. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here and showing up. Appreciate that so much. So through our efforts in the department, we've been able to put forth high-quality programs and events and being very impactful. And so this is not just for the department, but we work outside of in the city of Los Angeles as well. And so through our efforts, we provide leadership opportunities for our members. And we allow them to shine and showcase their experiences, showcase their leadership. And so the department definitely benefits from that, and I'd like to thank them once again. And so moving forward, I'd like to speak on our mission, which from professional development, just going off of that, the mission of the national organization is to increase the number of culturally responsible Black engineers who excel academically, succeed professionally, and positively impact the community. So this is from our parent organization that includes both collegiate chapters and professional chapters. And so bringing it home here, we also developed our own mission statement within the department. And based on its significance, I'd like to read that out as well. And that is to foster diversity and inclusion in the field of engineering, provide professional development opportunities for its members, and contribute to the advancement of STEM initiatives within the community. We aim to empower and support Black engineers, creating a collaborative environment that promotes excellence, innovation, and impact. And so, moving forward, I'd like to pass it on to Michael to go over our core goals.
Thank you, Ramsey. So as we can see on the screen, we have 3 NSBE core goals. We'll start off with the community and STEM goal, which is, as mentioned, to promote engineering and STEM-related careers for pre-collegiate and collegiate students. And in our previous fiscal year, one of those examples will include our NSBE Junior event. It was a youth day at LADWP where we had over 100 students come attend. We had a career fair and an informative panel that was composed of LADWP engineers. Next, we have our recruitment, which is recruiting at LA area colleges and the regional and NSBE national conventions. Something that we've re-implemented this year is attending the local colleges, and we recently attended California State University Northridge and UCLA, where we provided information sessions about DWP. And we also have an upcoming session next month at USC. And then lastly is Unity. We have Build and Support Membership. Another initiative we're launching is a collaboration with other PRGs, including SHIP, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, and SWE, Society of Women Engineers. We're partnering up with to do a mentoring program, launching it hopefully this fiscal year as well, and providing professional development seminars. Some of the ones that we've done is an AI info session and also a grad school informational session. So here's our current members. We have 132 dues-paying members divided throughout the water, power, and joint systems. But we also want to emphasize we have over 200 members in our email list, and we're actively trying to pursue to convert them to dues-paying members. So this slide here is the engineers hired by ethnicity for years 2024 and 2025. In the 2024 circle chart, we hired 69 engineers and 4% were African American or Black. And in 2025, we had 6%. That is an improvement, and we're trending in the right direction. We do want to see if we can target double digits and see if we can approach the approximate census of LA County, which is approximately 10% for African Americans. And a diverse workforce is a stronger workforce, as was mentioned earlier in the board meeting, and reflective of our community, which is why this is very important. And in this slide, we just kind of dive deeper. Looking at the 2024 hiring data, we had 3 Black engineers, 1 Black woman, 2 Black men. And in 2025, we've had 7 Black engineers, again, as mentioned, an improvement, 2 Black women, and 5 Black men.
Thank you, Michael. And so on the topic of hiring, one of our premier events is the NSBE National Convention, hosted by the parent organization. So here you see attendance of about 15,000. And this is a multi-day event where they have workshops and seminars, high-level speakers, technical sessions. And we also have the career fair, which we attend as LADWP. We attend on the recruiting side, but also on the attendee side. And so on the recruiting side, this is a space where you're going to find the best talent from around the nation, and it is very important for LADWP to be there because we want to capture that talent. And so it's a very competitive landscape. You know, there's Fortune 500 companies all around, and we're competing with them. And so this comes to our first big ask, our NSBE ask is to, we just saw the hiring data. There's a lot of work that needs to be done. And so we asked for the department and for recruiting to bring forth or continue to bring forth the same-day job offers, because one of the pain points that we've noticed talking to collegiate members is that our hiring process is pretty lengthy and out of our control, but by the time they get an interview and by the time they get on board, that can take over 6 months. And we're competing with the best of the best. That's Fortune 100 companies, right? So, and they can't wait for us. They're graduating in the coming May or sometimes in December. And so we asked, recruiting is doing a good job. I'm seeing the development in bringing forth same-day job offers. So I'd like to ask to continue to do so and also improve upon that. And so on the attendee side as well, I've had the pleasure of attending many of these events. They have various different workshops and seminars. We grow through continued learning, and we network with our peers and industry experts. It provides fresh new ideas, fresh perspectives. You see CEOs of these companies speaking at these events, and it's very inspiring. So I want to bring forth a story that one of our members who attended for the first time, actually, one of our other conferences. She came back to me after attending one of our conferences, said that she attended multiple workshops, was so inspired that she wanted to go back to school. So thankfully, through the department's tuition reimbursement program, she was able to attend University of Southern California and is currently attending this winter session. Good. So very happy for, we can see, right, the development that these conferences are doing for our employees, the professional development. It's translating directly to the department, and it's great to see. That's why we're doing it. So also shown on this slide, we have on the top left, we have a chapter award that we received for the Region 6 Professional Development Program of the Year. This is our NSBE chapter from DWP received this award based on our programs that we've done here. So it's important to note that we're being recognized. We're being recognized on the national stage for all the great work that's being happening here. So just wanted to highlight that. So moving on to some of the other programs that we do here for the department. Starting off at the top left, starting off the journey from the pre-collegiate side, we do events such as a back-to-school drive where our members graciously provided donations of money as well as backpacks and school supplies. We were able to collect over, I think, around 100 backpacks for these students from the ALLAN organization as well as Bridge Builders. We want to plant the seeds young. We want to plant the seeds of DWP young. We want to plant the seeds of NSBE, of what it is to be an engineer, inspire them, and then bring that forth to the picture to the right. We attended an information session at UCLA from the collegiate side. So we want to continue that conversation on the collegiate side. So like Michael mentioned, we're going around to local universities, to their chapters, and we're speaking on day in the life of an LADWP employee, LADWP engineer. We speak on the water, the power, and the joint systems. We speak about the opportunities that we have, such as the student engineering program, and such as all the different associate positions that we have. We bring forth that we will be attending these conferences and conventions, of course, one of which was this past fall. We attended in Oakland, California, we attended our Region 6 conference. And another story there is, after speaking to one of the recruiters, about 2 or 3 students came up to their table mentioning that they are there because we provided that information to them at their school. So it's doing something. We're making an impact, and it's showing. So we want to see that timeline, right, from the pre-collegiate to the collegiate, and eventually working with them, alongside them at DWP. And so on the professional side, we have on the bottom left photo, we do events internally as well for our professionals. This is one of our events, the networking rooftop social. So of course, networking is extremely important. We don't have the chance to collaborate and work with these individuals on a day-to-day basis. So being there and meeting each other is very important, and they can bring that forth to their work. Right. So moving on to some of our other events. On the top left, we have our Terminal Island Tour. This is one of our technical tours that we host. So as you can see, we had a bunch of our members come out there to visit the Terminal Island Water Reclamation Plant so they can learn about its operations and how they treat the water there. We have our Professional Development Conference, another type of conference that similar to the one just mentioned. We do other social events like a football watch party that we recently had in fall. And like Michael mentioned, we collaborate with other organizations such as SWE, Society of Women Engineers, Valor, SHIP, Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers. And in other years, we've worked with Aspire and as well as Pride. Just some of highlights, some of which I've already mentioned. 2025 NSBE National Convention, which we attended last March. 2025 Professional Development Conference, professional headshots that we've done this past fall. This is another one of our initiatives for professional development. We equipped our members with professional headshots. They can put it onto their team's message, on their team's profile as well as their Outlook profile, so just increasing their visibility. Also, we did a co-pilot training class. This is one of the new technologies brought forth to LADWP, so we wanted to make sure that our employees, our members are utilizing that effectively, and so that was a great event there. Like I already mentioned, the Terminal Island Tour, and on the pre-collegiate side, we brought forth attending local university NSBE chapters, We do Bring Your Child to Work Day the department hosts. We're there tabling. We have turbine kits that the children can play with, some adults as well. So NSBE National Regional Conference is another one of our conferences as well. Another premier event that we do annually is the MLK Day Parade, which we just did recently in January, which was amazing. I was there marching with we have the bucket trucks, we have the electric vehicles showcasing the LADWP brand. I think it's very important for LADWP to be present in the community, and this is just one example of which. It's really nice seeing all the attendees to the parade. You know, they ask for discounts for their water and power bills.
I'm sure they do.
Really? And of course, we get a lot of thank you for your service. You know, that's really nice to see, and it shows that we're out there in the community. You know, we see retirees coming up to us, giving us hugs. So it's one of the events that we want to continue to do. And as you can see, we have been doing it in past years, for many years now. And even more recently, Black History Month. Happy Black History Month to you all. And so we made it a goal of ours to do weekly events. During the first week, we had a social out in Long Beach. The second week, we brought in a historian to speak on the significance of the month and its background. And then last week was our main event, which was Roots and Flavors with thankfully over 100 attendees were there. We had executive speakers, we had a cultural Q&A session, we had food for everyone from different regions so that people can embrace the Black culture. And then here we are with you today for our board presentation. And some upcoming programs is in March, we have a LADWP technical tour of the Tahunga Wellfield Response Action Treatment Facility. So the audience here is going to be the local chapters that we've built connections with. You know, we've attended their local chapters to speak on the NSBE and LADWP, but we want to continue that conversation and bring them into our facilities. And so, you know, continue that conversation. So we'll be doing that in March. We'll be attending our national convention, the big premier event coming up in March as well. In April, we have a NSBE Junior Day. And what is NSBE Junior Day? We bring forth the pre-collegiates onto one of our facilities. And we bring them forth and show them what it is to be an engineer. We give them a full day of activities, and we're very excited to do that this year. We do this on an annual basis. In May, we have another professional development event. And in June, we do an annual Juneteenth celebration. And finally, in July, we'll be introducing our new executive board for the next fiscal year. So bye-bye to me. And some acknowledgements. I'd like to thank the Board and Water Power Commissioners, Janice Quinones, John Smith, Tracy Pierce, Ann Santilli, Norma Grubb, Joseph Ramallo, Kendall Helm, and Selmo Collins, and David Hansen. Apologize if I missed anyone here. And a special shout out to these individuals who aid us on a day-to-day basis, recruitment services, who've taken on some of the responsibilities from the DEI office. And thank you so much. Big help on our operations, our events and programming, corporate communications and media relations, putting our name out there. Facility services for aiding us on our events, putting all of that together. Reprographics and print shop for our posters and flyers, of course, and the CARS office for our room reservations here within the department. And thank you to our membership. Once again, this is one of our nice pictures here. And with that, I'd like to conclude the presentation. If you guys have any questions for us, thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Michael, in July, you're going to have a very hard act to follow because that's a lot of success. It really is. I have a question. When you do recruiting on campus in particular, and you're trying to get people attracted to careers in engineering, but also at DWP in particular, what, with the current cohort or generation of graduating engineers, what is it that is the main thing that moves them toward a career like this? Is it the diversity of opportunities? Is it the supportive work environment? Is it the civil service aspects perhaps for some of the jobs? What is it that really drives them?
To be frank, the dollar amount is the salary number. But I think where the value lies is the attendee, the recruiter at the table, showing their experiences within the department, showing our work-life balance and showing all the benefits that we have and what it is to be an engineer here. So I think that having the personnel there in person and sharing their experiences adds the most value, and we have that face-to-face communication with them. Yeah.
And what share of folks that we end up hiring come from the community here in Southern California, and how many are coming nationally?
I do not have the statistics. I can get that for you, but I assume majority are local.
Mostly local?
Yeah, majority are local because recruiting definitely emphasizes the hiring efforts locally.
Yeah.
And we do go across the nation, like organizations such as NSB Ship and SWE. We have our regional and national conventions, and that's where we can capture the engineers around the nation. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's terrific. Thanks very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
As your time permits, or not yours necessarily, but someone, I would very much personally like to have someone give me an overview of day in the life of a DWP engineer. And of course, if it's anything that's in bullet points, I'd love to personally read that. But over a cup of coffee, I would just love for somebody to give me the highlights of the day in the life of a DWP engineer.
Make note of that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Be happy to.
I wanted to comment on that opening photo in the presentation. It really kind of looked like the Avengers, or like it had superhero vibes, which I think is appropriate here. I think the work that you're doing is really important to the department, creating a sense of community and communicating not just internally, but externally, an inclusive and welcoming environment. You know, particularly the work that you're doing with schools and students and the outreach. You know, we heard from Estella today that she started here as a student engineer, and I've met so many of our amazing leaders at DWP who got their start that way. And these opening that door to, you know, young students and helping them see themselves, you know, in these amazing careers is so important. So, you know, thank you for the work that you're doing every day. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'd just also commend you on the great work you're doing. I think it's critically important in today's environment. You know, there's a lot of things going on. And I myself have been a part of, I mean, in my early days, even in grad school, recruiting for Black students, and the difficulty of getting the community to the point where recruiting early to such career paths as engineering is really important. I think I love this work. I commend you on that, and I hope that we can expand on that and really get, as you said, 10% matching the population of here in LA County, and do more that we can do to really find Black engineers and Black employees as part of a great organization. So thank you very much. I look forward, like Commissioner Pender, to learn more about this and be more active. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Rudy, do you want to say something? Or?
Well, one, you know, as a new commissioner, it's great to see that the department has such a wonderful organizations involved inside of it, and to have the recruitment is much more needed, and to really inspire the young minds that you're looking for. But also, too, it looks like you have a lot of fun there. Anytime you want to invite me, I will be happy to come over to some of the social mixers and so on.
Right,
but
to
learn about engineering, that's what I'm talking about.
That's right. That's right.
That's great.
I'll just add, first, happy Black History Month. I wasn't here for the last board meeting when we probably talked about it, so I don't want to let that go. Thank you for the invitation. I wasn't here for the event, but I was looking forward to hearing how it went. So it sounds like a success and a lot of fun, and I miss all the food. I was in Africa, so I guess I was celebrating somehow, somewhere. I want to say, representation matters. And when you go to a school as a Black engineer, male or female, and a small kid sees you, they can see themselves in you. Mm-hmm. And when we talk about diversity, it's not just having an RG, it's intentionality. And the department is very intentional about increasing our diversity to match the communities that we're serving. And we have work to do in the engineering aspect, and we have work to do in the female hiring. But it's because of your commitment and giving back to your community that we can make a difference. We cannot do it without the representation of the communities that we're serving. And so I'm very proud of the work that you're doing. I'm very thankful for the work that you're doing. And I'm most thankful for the community you built inside, because it's important to have a local community that you can relate to and have the discussions that you can have with everybody else. So keep that going, because that makes you just that much stronger. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Any other? Thank you again very much.
Thank you.
I don't think we have any reports on committee activity unless you had a mention. Okay, I'll move on that. There are filed items. Do any commissioners have any questions specifically about any of the findings or information in the filed items?
I don't have a question. I do have a comment. The filed items include, reports of any fines, with one small exception on a reporting issue that's been addressed. There are a lot of zeros, and I think environmental compliance is extremely important and often goes unnoticed. So I just want to say thank you to the team, Catherine, and your whole group for the work that I know happens day in, day out. I don't know if Executive Director Lucero is still listening on security, but I think in both cases, in environmental compliance and also in security, a lot of your work is John Oliver once did a piece about infrastructure where he dramatized this like movie trailer and, the people working day in, day out to make sure that nothing happens. So, you're doing that hard work to make sure that we're avoiding disasters and issues and pollution and security issues. And whether it's, folks out in the field, doing testing, or in the lab, or, again, with the security group as well, it's a 24/7, there's a lot of work that goes into keeping us safe, keeping our water systems safe, our infrastructure safe, and that's both safe from bad actors in terms of, human bad actors, disasters, and issues around pollution as well. So I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you, continue this important work. I look forward to many more zeros when it comes to fines in the future as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no other comments, then could I ask the Commission Secretary to order all three of the filed items as so filed?
So filed.
Thank you. Does any commissioner have anything they'd like to introduce for future consideration? Hearing none. Madam Secretary, are there any neighborhood council submissions?
No community impact statements or formal positions have been filed for any items on today's agenda.
Fine. And since we've approved the items on today's agenda, I'd now ask the city attorney, please, before we go into a closed session, to give us the purpose and statutory authority for doing so.
Thank you. The board shall now recess into closed session for conference with legal counsel regarding 3 lawsuits. The first is entitled Eric Smith versus City of Los Angeles, pending in Los Angeles Superior Court as case number 22STC v. 28160. The second case is Adolfo Enrique Velasquez Escobar versus LADWP, Los Angeles Superior Court case number 23 STCV 23798. And the third case is Oshrat Ishikia versus LADWP, Los Angeles Superior Court case number 24 VECV 04955. The board shall report out publicly any action taken in closed session and the vote or abstention thereof of every member present in accordance with Government Code Section 54957.1 of the California Government Code.
Good. Thank you very much. We will now move into closed session.
Are you going to? No.
Avi, we're ready. Could you let me know when you're ready?
A meeting is all yours.
We still have a quorum present, and I turn it to the city attorney to read us out, please.
We are back in open session, and we have two report outs from the closed session. In the Escobar case, the board, by unanimous vote, approved a settlement in the amount of $995,000. And in the case of Yexkia, the board approved a settlement of commissioners approving in the amount of $172,923.74.
Good. Thank you, Ms. Flores. There being no other business, we are adjourned.